Let's talk about weight loss goals. At the beginning, when I wanted to lose weight, I always thought, yes, I had some, for example, if I was like 185 pounds, I'll say, I want to be 130 pounds. And that is probably a nice weight loss goal. I think that most people, if they want to lose more than 50 pounds, some doctors said around 25 pounds, and then you need to consult with the doctor. Especially if you're gonna get into one of the very low calorie diets, which normally go between 500 and 800 calories a day. But I always thought that if I went 10 pounds at a time and made little goals, and by the way, I have been told this by some nurses and doctors, some weight loss programs in which they're like, okay, just lose 10 pounds, and then when you go down 10 pounds, then go to the next 10 pounds. And now I have learned with my training that actually this is not a very good idea, because in your mind it creates what they call plateaus, in which, let's say that you're 160 and then you go to 150 and you did it and you did great, and then now you have to go to 140, and all of a sudden you can't make it. You're stuck on 150 or 149 and you can't go down, and you've been trying for weeks and weeks and weeks. And so this creates a mental plateau, or like a stop sign for you, and that will not allow you to lose weight. So we're going to talk about some of the goals and how to get there, and what is a weight loss goal that is good for you personally, as everybody's different. And like I said, you don't have to, if you don't have a goal to shoot for, you will not know how much you're losing and how are you benefiting from this and where are you going. So definitely you have to decide now. We're going to talk about what your ideal weight should be. But myself and some of my clients have done this. You have to have some goal in your head with some specificity. Oof, I almost couldn't say that. But you cannot have something with like, oh, I'm going to lose some weight, maybe 40, maybe 50 pounds, and I'm going to lose it maybe in 6 months or 2 months, with some imaginary due date or an imaginary image of how you will look and feel. This is not enough. So one thing that it is true about weight loss is that it has to be specific. So tip number 1. I used to write out all the things that were temptations for me as a little while list in a white piece of paper. And these things help me, the tips I'm going to give you now help me to start losing weight and getting motivated, and also help me to curve 1 or 2 habits, mini habits at the time, instead of trying to do all of them, which necessarily or probably are going to, you don't want to try to change 20 things at once. This might, make you fail into your diet. So I carry laminated in my purse a list that had 21 spaces, and I'm going to show it to you in a minute, and with a message. And the message said, when someone asks you to at work or during a social event if you want to eat something on the list, you have to say no thanks at least 21 times before saying one yes. I know it seems silly, but if you think about it, I guess I was thinking, when I did this, I was thinking about Edison, when he was trying to do how many tries of the light bulb, right? And so I was kind of reversing the thinking, and I figured, if I don't do that, and if I don't have some kind of mantra or something that help me to try to trick myself, every time I get over a cupcake, and believe me, at my work, they do sugar stuff like every day. Bagels, baking goods, potlucks, you name it. So if I don't say no, if I don't have something to push me or give me an excuse to say no, and something that I can check like a checklist or something that I can write like a journal, I'm going to say yes every time because for me now it's an addiction. So I decided I will have this laminating with me, and then if somebody will ask me, I'll have this thing with me and I'll say no and I'll put a check mark next to it. And so I will do this 21 times. But then also I know that it will come to a moment in which that day that you haven't eaten lunch, or maybe you're going through some emotional issue, personal issue, and you really need that cupcake, and you know, you're going to say yes sometimes. So if you deprive yourself so much that you cannot hold yourself to a diet, because diets are extremely difficult to maintain over long periods of time, especially very low calorie diets between 500 and 800 calories a day, then I'd rather you say just one time out of 22 than 22 out of 22. Okay, and remember, a cupcake has 450 calories. Well, between 400 and 590 calories. So if you say, let me see, let me get the calculator here so we can see it. But if you say, let's say it is 450, a blueberry cupcake times 21, you already have said no to 9,450 calories. We know that a pound is 3,500 calories. So you have said no to 2 pounds and 2.7 pounds, almost 3 pounds. So you have lost in less than a month 3 pounds. So as you can see, little changes can make huge impact. This is just a trick, but try it out and see if it works for you. Once it becomes a habit, your body will not want the bad cake, the bad coffee latte, and the super sweet tea. You will start, if you try to, in addition of your body trying to get rid of it faster, and you might get some stomach issues going there, you might find that now everything tastes so much sugary because you're not used to it anymore. And this is a good thing. Everything will taste over the top and you will be turned away from it naturally. I promise you. So your weight loss goals should be smart, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. As you can see here, you can do a lot of things on your own, and you don't have to really spend money on a logbook. I know that I bought probably a couple of exercise and logbooks, and I started using it the first day and then I used it again. But if you put yourself rewards, then it just becomes a system that you can do, and you can do a poster such as this one. Like if you lose 5 pounds, you get a pat on the back, or you go get a massage, or you lose 10 pounds, you get new shoes, you lose 15, you get a new book. Obviously, this have to be rewards that you would like to get done, and so you have to work for it. Okay. You can, as you can see, these posters every 5 pounds, but you might want to do every 2 pounds. So a lot of things that you see here have to do with NLP or negative thoughts and habits, but not yet with going to the gym or nutrition or even exercise, because first you have to choose to change your mind. And in order to get into this lifestyle, and in order to change your mind, you have to start with mini habits to change your mind. Tip number 2, of course, you have to reward yourself. If you deprive yourself of something, you have to have some kind of replacement. Like, for example, if you want to get rid of sugar, make sure that you have strawberries or grapes, or other fruit. Normally fruits that have a lot of water will be best for you to lose weight and replace that. Or you are carrying a water bottle with you. Okay? If your gut and your brain are not in concert together, this will not work. So some people's variation of this list is to cheat eating what you want once a week. Like we were talking before, 1 out of 22 things or 1 out of 22 times. For some people, especially endomorphs, you have to be careful with this. This might not work for you, especially if you're very addicted to sugar. As if you do this, you might go ending eating or binging, which is even worse. But if it's worse for you, please try. The honest truth is that sound diet or loss of calories of exercise is needed to produce a net loss of calories. So for endomorphs, you might have to get into a temporary 1 or 2 weeks 500 to 800 calorie intake. You can do this up to 6 weeks. This is to give you a boost to your metabolism, then maintaining, and then do periods of 3 to 4 days in which you alternate between low fat and low calorie day versus high calorie days. So the first thing you need to do is, for the first week, I recommend that you write down what you're eating every day and look at the calories. And this becomes easier after the first week because most people eat the same kind of breakfast every day or the same kind of lunch or similar kind of lunch every day. For example, if you drink coffee with milk or toast in the morning, then you know more or less how many calories. And so this is important because first you need to know how many calories you have been eating. When I started counting calories, I hadn't realized that I was eating 2,400 calories a day, which for a person that is in a sedentary job and barely exercises is not very good, as most adults only require between 1,200 and 1,500 calories a day, which means I was eating double the calories. And the truth is that I was still feeling hungry and sluggish and tired. And I really didn't thought I was eating as many calories as 2,400. So this came as a surprise to me until I wrote it down. So the first thing that you want to do is know how many calories you're eating on the first week. Let's say you eat 2,400 calories. And then you want to go down to either 500 calories or 800 calories or in between 500 and 800 calories for 6 weeks. Now you should choose at least 5 days to follow a plan of diet and stick to it, and go adding to the list as you keep your own word. Maintain this for 6 weeks. Remember, when you diet or when you are on a diet that is a very low calorie diet, you need supplements or vitamins. Exercise should be minimal. Remember, if you're only eating 500 calories and you go exercise, you're going to feel very good at the beginning because of the endorphins. And of course, exercise is great. However, you'll be more tired and you might produce things and some kind of chemicals in your body that might affect or inflammate or give you inflammation in the body, which will create cortisol. And cortisol tends to make you gain weight. So if you're in a very low calorie diet, you want to stay between 500 and 800 calories. If you're having problems with vitamin D, also be careful with very low calorie diets. A very calorie diet should not be used longer than 6 weeks or 40 days. This changes, of course, for individuals that are diabetic or have cancer, heart concerns, etc. Please remember to check with your doctor before you begin any kind of exercise or diet advice. Following this list, every time you say no, you put a check mark on top of one of the lines. I know it seems silly, but things like this can help you lose, like we saw, 2 to 3 pounds a month or 1 to 2 pounds a week. Sometimes, with a very low-calorie diet, you can lose between 0.2 and 2.2 pounds a day. This is why it is not healthy to be doing it consistently for more than 6 weeks. Consistency and focus is what will get you there. We're gonna talk about ideal weight loss in the next video. Thank you for listening.